Hi everyone, especially to my junk journal lovers. I'm going to do a journal flip through and I'm really excited about this because it's my first 2023 Christmas antique journal. And if you know my work, and I hope you do, I'm Hyperstamper, by the way, Laura Bartolini from Canada. And I have shipped hundreds of my journals all across North America and Canada. And I'm excited for this particular one because I've been collecting Christmas antique ephemera for years, trying to get enough just to make a few journals. And the reason I can only make a few, as you know, all of my journals are 100% antique and vintage authentic papers. I don't use fake photocopies or replicas or commercial kits or commercial papers. I use only the real McCoy. So there's nothing wrong with the other kind. This is just my style. I like my pieces to be pieces of history. So when you look through the journals, you can see what was actually happening, 50 to 150 years ago. I include so many different types in my journals. So let's do a flip through. This here is the cover of the Currier and Ives Printmakers to the People publication from 1901. This is the exact same book that I took the cover from. Sorry, it's another book just like it. This one was in poor condition, so I couldn't use the cover. I did use the prints inside though, and the plates, which are spectacular and actually quite valuable. And so you can see that this book was a better condition. So I cut this image out, and I even used this bit here along the bottom and the spine just to use up the pieces because they're so beautiful. I made this bangle here. You can take that off, it's removable. It's got some antique crochet bits here, and this is new and this tassel is new. Just some rhinestones and some two-tone metal here to make a fun tassel, and with some lace around the edges. The book itself, which you can't see, is actually also from 1937, but it had a very boring plain cover, so I covered it. And it had to be read for Christmas. So this piece here I've hinged so that you can see how wonderful the back is. This is an old snapshot folder. So when you used to get your photos developed, it would come in something like this. This one's from the 1950s. And this is an old stereoscope card. Would have been used with one of those, it looks like a Viewmaster, but the double images make a sort of a 3D look. And that's from 1898, and a wonderful snowy image. I thought that was perfect for the Christmas journal. It's a tag from the 1950s to Lynn, with love from Graham. In the original little string there, I found that in a book. This is a very dark green piece of a doily table runner that I acquired. This is a page from the book called The Christmas Carol, and stay tuned. The cover of this book will be made into a vintage journal over the next few days. I'll be posting that as well. And I love the images here. Some very heavy cardstock with gold along the edge. You can't see it in the video, but it's quite lovely. The only papers that are not antique, authentic antique or vintage paper are the ones that I tea dyed, the blank pages, and I stamped some of them. And that's because antique papers are very brittle sometimes, and if you're going to write on it, I wanted at least, some pages where you could really go to town and not worry about them being too brittle to write on. This here is a page from a children's craft book on how to make Christmas crafts. Here's a Christmas story from a children's storybook, a vintage table doily. This is really fun. I added a little note to whoever owns this journal. The reason this bingo card is in there, not because it's Christmas theme, although it does have red, it has the numbers 12 and 25. And so I thought that was great for December 25th. This I found in the back. I found a couple of them. This one is the original hand-typed piece, and then the other three I acquired were carbon copies. So this one is the 12 Days of Christmas. And if you can see here, it's really cool. They're not the traditional ones that we often sing. The last four are very different. So it's really fun to see that there was another version of this used. And that's just a wonderful little piece. And at the pocket I made out of a Christmas book. And you can see here it says A Merry Christmas, Chapter 2. This pocket I also made out of a page that was called Christmas Bells from the late 1800s. And here's a Christmas stamp from 1979. And this wonderful little book page, A Little Town of Bethlehem. It's got a lovely little poem here and places to journal there. This is a very old music sheet, Way in a Manger. And look at this incredible full page image here that came inside the music book. It says, "Joy to the world, the Lord has come. The Lord is come." And then, of course, the Away in the Manger is on the flip side of that. So I was very careful not to perforate that and inlaid it so as not to obstruct the beautiful scene there. This is from a children's 365-day storybook, and I pulled the one from December 12th, The Snow Fairy Tries to Help. Here's another one, The Snowman's Secret. Great little image here. And this is the flip side of the children's craft page, How to Make Christmas Gifts. Another poem from the Christmas Carol book. It's different than the original by Hans Christian Andersen. There were several versions. This is a gorgeous version. The illustrations are quite magnificent. And if you know me, you know I'm all about fiddles. So it was hard to part with this one. I did some hand stamping here. This again is from that book from the 1800s. They are daily prayers. And this one here is not daily, some of them are prayers and some of them are just thoughts. And this is from December 28th to December 31st. This is a magazine page, and on the flip side you'll see it's, I believe, an embroidery pattern for a nativity scene. And this I made out of a tag out of a magazine page that has Christmas card boxes. This little piece here is from a book that has Christmas Day written on it. And then this is a different book page, also Christmas themed with pine cones and a banner. Here's the flip side. In the 50s, women would write into these magazines to get kits to sell these Christmas cards to make extra money. This is a wonderful page. It is a recipe book from Betty Crocker from the 50s. And look at these fantastic cookies. I mean, the colors are so cheesy and aged and just, to me, perfect. Just gorgeous. Again, that's the other side to complete the nativity scene. I hand stamped and colored this onto a piece of 100-year-old paper and added this ledger paper from 1926 for you to journal on. There's another flip side of the 1800s page. It says the end. I should have put it at the end of the book, but this is where it landed and it lives there now. Now, I know I said everything in my books is absolutely antique. There are two little cards like this that somebody gifted to me, and I really thought they were lovely. And because the images are true to themselves, I did include these two tiny little things. So I'm being truthful. Those are not antique, but I think they're lovely. And these, another Christmas story here, book page. And I don't know if this is absolutely fantastic or a little bit cheesy. It is a napkin from the 50s, and I tucked it into, or made a tuck into this Christmas page, Christmas in the Street of Memories. And I added a tea-stained card there that I hand stamped. Another story title here. This is a vintage Christmas doily. And this is one of my favorite things in the book here. It's a 1953 Christmas card from Harry, Mamie, and family. And inside is this incredibly special 1898 page out of Demerset's Family Magazine. And this side is about Santa Claus. And on the flip side, these are 18 pretty holiday gifts. And look at these purses from the 1800s. I'm speechless at how beautiful this is, and whoever gets this journal is very lucky to have that page because I almost kept it for myself. There we go. And I did glue these shut here to make the pockets in each side. And there's another one of the 1936 ledger pages for you, more journaling, and another tag I made with hobby time and fun magazine page with Christmas themed things to make. More book pages. This is probably one of the most special things anybody will get in their Christmas journal, and I hope you can see it. I left it in the packaging because it is very special. You can take it out. It's got the original gold embossing and lettering, and the date on it is December 25th, 1911. And I think it is absolutely spectacular. Another vintage Christmas stamp. This is a little book inscription that somebody gave to their mom for Christmas in 1919 on a pocket page I made out of a snowflake page in a science book, How to Make Snowflakes. This is a ledger page from the British, the listener page from the British publication, The Listener, and it's a Christmas theme from 1950, December 21. This is a vintage comic book page that has a snow theme, another snowflake science page with a hidden clip, another Christmas story page. Here's another postcard from the early 1920s. This one's for a New Year's greeting. Isn't that fantastic? And this is from Needlework magazine here. And a vintage Christmas Carol book with the Christmas story in it. This is one of my favorite things as well. It's a photo from 1945, a little boy in front of his Christmas tree with all the tinsel. Another craft page from a magazine, 1971 Easter seals. This little envelope is full of Christmas stamps. Some from New Zealand, America, Canada. And here's a 1930s community chest card from the game Monopoly. It says your Xmas funds mature, collect $100. Not too shabby. This is from 1892, Sunday Reading for the Young. It's an amazing, amazing print from the book called Snowballs, and I was very careful putting this in the book, and you are going to get a lot of joy from that illustration there. And more reading from that on the back, more Christmas pages from a magazine and Christmas stories from that lovely music book. Another tag with an embroidery pattern, another Christmas seal, another Christmas page, another one of those lovely little illustrations. And to top it all off, I have added the numbers 2 and 5 with hearts for 25 for Christmas Day, and a little magazine insert of a little boy in his Christmas outfit. This here is a removable bangle. I've just got that on a clip there, a red clip for Christmas. I hope you enjoy this. I absolutely love it. It's on my Etsy page. Go to Etsy and search for Hyperstamper, capital H, and look at my shop. Thanks. Bye.